Hi, and welcome to Great Getaways. I don't know if you can tell or not from me sitting here, but it's winter time. And we're up here in Schoolcraft County, and we're going to take you out on some of our favorite trails here. We got the right weather for it, we got plenty of snow, and we're going to have a lot of fun.
So let's get started on this wonderful whiteout. This is going to be a snowshoe trek like no other. With almost 50 inches of snow falling during our stay, there would be plenty of the white stuff to walk on top of. If you love the snow, you are going to love this adventure, and even if you don't, you will enjoy the winter beauty from the warmth of your easy chair.
We're here to Indian Lake today. As you can see, they've got plenty of snow around here. One of the things this year that I have seen is we're getting a lot of snow, but we're getting warmer temperatures, which means that a lot of this will melt a little bit and then refreeze, and so it's really crunchy kind of snow, but sometimes as you're walking along, you'll go right down into it. That's why we got the snowshoes on today. We're not going to take the chance. We want to go out along the lake a little bit too, so we're going to get out there on the trail. Now, one thing too, they haven't plowed as much of this area as they have in past years, so there's just a small parking area down here. Makes the trail a little bit longer than we're used to, but that's okay too. We got a great day out here. It's overcast, but man, the snow's coming down. It's beautiful. It's winter. It's time to go.
The first snowshoe adventure is at Indian Lake State Park. As we snowshoed in the deep snow that had accumulated on Indian Lake, we noticed lots of opportunities to veer off into the forest. There was a hard crust on top of the snow that kept us from sinking in, and it gave us a false sense of security. That was all about to change when we came to a wind-blown section that showed just how deep the snow was. I didn't want to fall into this crevasse. It may take more than Denny to get me out.
You know, we got about at least a couple of feet of snow out here on the ice, and it's kind of crusty on top, which is making it nice because we're not sinking that much in our snowshoes. Makes it easier for walking. But you come along the shoreline, like I said, and you see where the drifts are at and how deep the snow really is. Check this out.
It looks like it's more than 4 feet deep.
If I can do this without falling. Crazy. Now I gotta figure out how to get out.
Well, I was able to get out of the crevasse, and it was onward into the Indian Lake State Park.
That's what you run into out here, though. That's what makes it so much fun. Nice thing about walking along this particular part of the trail is there are a couple of benches out here that, you know, if you get tired, you can go over and sit down. And well, maybe not right now. Maybe not today. No, I'm not sitting in that. Well, you can see out behind me now there's some open water down there. That's where this creek that flows through this area comes out into the lake at. You see open water like that, it's time to get off the lake because that's a dangerous spot to be in. You don't know how thick that ice is down there, and it can be dangerous. So we're going to jump on into the woods right here, pick up the trail, and head on down. We'll also be able to see that creek, which is open water right now. Should be a nice sight.
As we moved off the lake and into the park, the whole look and feel would change. The shoreline hike consisted mostly of cedar trees giving off a green cast in an otherwise white landscape. The lake was once called Nestique Lake. According to 1850 surveyor records, Native Americans lived in a log cabin near the outlet of the lake.
Could see anything out here. We've seen deer out here, various other small animals running around. The swamp tends to draw all types of animals, so keep your eyes open and your camera ready. We've got the creek run along the trail itself. Now, in a few minutes, as we get down the trail, we're actually going to cross a bridge over to the other side of it. We'll continue paralleling down the creek, and then we'll cut onto another bridge that takes us back across to this side, and then we head back towards the beginning of the trail. But this is so pretty back in here with this open water flowing through here, a little bit of ice on the edge, just snow mounted up around the side. You just can't beat it. And another thing, the sound. Can't hear anything. It's quiet out here. This is one of my favorite places along the trail where the two bridges will cross the creek itself, because it gives you a chance to look down and see things. There's a lot of snow out here, as you can see. I'm probably about 2 feet of snow under me as I'm on top of the bridge that I'm walking over to. Don't trip, you could end up in a drink here.
Some folks prefer winter to summer. It's a time for rest, quiet activities like reading and reflection. Everyone knows that in the Northern Hemisphere, December 21st is winter solstice, the shortest day of the year.
Well, as you can see, the snow's pretty deep. We're in an area that's been trampled a little bit. More people in snowshoes have been through. I even see a set of footprints, so somebody did hike it in just shoes. But thing is the trail itself is pretty narrow. And you can see our snowshoes, you're just getting them side by side. It can be a little treacherous at times, so watch yourself.
It'd been a beautiful winter day and we were ready for some hot food and coffee. It was time to head back to Manistee and go to the Cedar Street Cafe, a small but comfortable restaurant right in downtown.
We came down for breakfast again at the Cedar Street Cafe, and I love it down here because you come in here and we usually get breakfast here, and I'm telling you what, I have never had such a great breakfast as I get here. Oftentimes I don't even eat lunch because I'm so full after I leave here. But I'm with the owner, Kyle, and I'm with Pamela who works here. And Kyle, maybe you can tell us a little bit about how long have you been here?
I've been here for 8 years.
Okay, and how did you get into it? You're only, what, 22?
I'm 22 years old.
That's pretty good for a young guy to have his place like this. Is it something you've always wanted?
Yes, it's something I've always wanted to do. Cooking has always been a passion of mine, and working in the restaurants. So when the opportunity came up for me to purchase this place specifically, I jumped on it, and it's been great.
Okay. Well, you know, I'm talking about how great the food is. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about the food that you have.
We do a lot of homemade breakfast and lunch dishes.
Homemade jams.
Homemade jams, dressings, soups.
Espresso bars.
And they've always got something that just, they'll tell me what some of the stuff is. I said, no, I don't know if I want that. Well, you're going to try it.
That's right.
and I try it. It is delicious.
Then he told me to stop, that I was making everybody hungry. Plus, it was time to move on. So after a good meal with good friends, it was time to hit the road and head out to the Fayette State Park. From Manistee, the Fayette State Park is about 40 miles. Head west on US 2 for 30 miles until you reach Garden Corners, then head south down the Garden Peninsula for about 8 miles until you come to the Fayette State Park.
Most people thought that Fayette State Park was just for the summertime, but you can come out here in the winter, which we're doing today, and we're going out to the Overlook Trail, which is across from the park itself, the old town site, and you look across Snowshoe Harbor and you see a limestone cliff that goes up. We're going to be up on top of that limestone cliff. We've made our way to the trailhead right now, and we're going to see if we can get out there and take a look over. It's been kind of rough so far, but we're doing pretty good. I think we're going to make it.
And so our trek continued.
You're wondering how deep the snow is out here. You can kind of get a look right here and where I'm stepping, and it's probably a good 1.5 feet there. This is not drifted snow either. This is just snow that's falling on the sign. It's an interpretive sign, so when you come out here, you might want to brush these off. You can take a look. You can't even brush them off. It would tell you something about the surrounding area, though, if you did. But yeah, we got quite a bit of snow here. As we go along, we're going to get in closer to the cliff itself, and we should get a nice look from there.
It was up to the top of the limestone cliffs where we would soon come to a ledge that was marked with a sign, "Do not go beyond this point." Now that's a warning to pay attention to.
Now, if you use your head, you shouldn't need to be told this, all right? Because you walk another 15, 20 feet, and you're going to drop about 100, 150 feet. So, when you come out to these areas, they're beautiful, but you have to use a lot of caution when you're out here too. Don't get too close to that edge. I've seen cliffs come up, and the snow has blown out to create kind of a lip out there. If you were to step on that thinking it was solid, off you go. So stay away from the edges when you come out in areas like this. Matter of fact, if you notice, we're not seeing anybody out here. Not a lot of people come up here during the winter to do these kinds of things. And I'll tell you what, you're really missing something if you don't do it. So get up off the couch and get on up here. You're going to have some fun.
And good advice it is. We don't want to lose any viewers.
As you come down the trail, one of the things you might see is some of these rock outcroppings that are here. You got them here, they're a little bit further up into there. But if you go off to this side, you could maybe, if you were real careful, get it 30 feet or so over here, and then it drops. And you can't tell that because you see these trees growing up. These trees are actually growing out of the side of the rock and up. So be real careful when you're out here on the trail. You can see it goes right along this edge.
The incline seemed to increase with each step of the snowshoes, and we found ourselves at another overlook. It was surreal to look out from the trees and see nothing but the sky overlooking the harbor.
Now this is a nice look down here. I'll have to come down and take a look. You can see a rock wall here, so everybody doesn't get too close out here. And you can see across to the old town site. About the only thing that's been out here, I'm seeing deer tracks everywhere up and down this trail and even out into here, but so far I haven't seen any human tracks.
Once we reached the summit, it was time to turn around and head back to the settlement for the last look at the Fayette town site in the winter. So down we went in an already broken trail that made it that much easier for our descent.
Well, it was a great little snowshoeing trip out here to the Fayette State Park. We came down. It was plowed out. The parking lot's a little bit plowed out, enough room where you can park. After that, you're on your own. And I'll tell you what, the snow's pretty deep out here right now. We had to have our snowshoes on to do it, and it's a little bit of work getting around out here. But what sights you see. We did the Overlook Trail, which is across from us right now behind me. And then we came down into the park itself, into the old town site. And just wandered around down here. Just a beautiful winter day to be out here is something that I think everybody should try to do, especially here in the winter. People don't get out enough. Well, this is a great place to come up to and go out and have some fun. I'm sure you'll really enjoy it.
We called it a day and headed back to Manistee to prepare for another full day of snowshoeing. Today we will spend time with our good friend Dennis Jankowski. Denny is a man of few words and is the salt of the earth. The first stop of the day would be Rainy Wildlife Area, located on Smith Creek on the northeast side of Indian Lake.
Dennis, you brought us out to the Rainy Wildlife Area that is an area, just a short pathway that goes back into kind of a swampy area.
Yeah, it's only about 10 minutes from Manistee. Beautiful area, plenty of snow. We'll welcome all visitors to come here. It's something to see.
And this goes back into, there's a little creek. We're actually on the northeast side of Indian Lake here. And there's I believe it might be Silver Creek that comes in here. I'm not exactly sure on that. But it kind of zigzags through a swampy area. And we're going to go down this pathway to an overlook platform. And hopefully we can get up on the platform. Maybe if there's enough snow, we can keep our shoes on and walk right up. That's what I'm hoping for.
Let's see if we can get there.
Yeah, I guess we got to get over this hump first. So I'm going to let you lead.
Thanks.
I know that Dennis and I made it sound hard, but Denny had to do it with a camera on his back.
Oh yeah, these guys got a nice pathway for me here. So. Almost.
Another day of deep snow and breaking trails. This had been the perfect winter getaway. Traveling deeper into the forest, we heard something in the woods, and there was a fox squirrel in the snow looking at us as if to say, "Do you have any nuts?" He soon left and we came to our first hurdle. A bridge so laden with snow you had to climb on top of the white stuff to be able to even move.
Who said don't bring a pole, right? Okay, once you get up, it's all right.
All right, made it up. They're doing a little bit of construction down here and doing some replacement on this boardwalk that they have going back here. And they've got the first part of it tore out. That's what we walked through. And then we had to step up onto the boardwalk itself, which is a little bit of a step to get up.
Quite a big step, yes.
And but now we're up here. I think we can get down that pretty good. So
Let's follow the path.
yep, let's head on. Well, you can probably tell that this snow is pretty deep out here. I don't know how much we've actually got, but we're sinking down pretty good even with snowshoes on. It's just beautiful. If you look out into the woods all around us, it's just covered with snow. I think in the springtime, when you get your spring melt, there's going to be a lot of water setting out in these areas. That's why we've got the boardwalk here to help you get through. We're coming off the boardwalk though and getting into a little bit harder ground. We'll take a path now over to the Overlook.
This is a diverse wildlife habitat area all along the trail and boardwalk. You can see everything from deer to red fox, and on an incredibly lucky day, even a wildcat or a wolf bounding through.
Well, we're almost there now. Just a little bit further distance down the trail, I can see the platform going up, so we'll get down there and see if we can get up on it. This, if I can, snowshoes can be a little tough to work on sometimes, but it looks like we've got a lot of snow out here though, Dave, that maybe we'll be able to walk up this thing.
Plenty of snow to make it up the steps.
That's going to be the key, is, we talked before we came out, well, should we bring our poles with us? Now we probably won't need them. Well, we're kind of wishing we'd have had them now, because the snow's been kind of rough to get through, but I do believe we have enough snow up there to probably walk up the stairs.
We're going up these stairs, poles or no poles?
We're going. Come on along. See if we fall down. You want me to lead? You can lead. Good man.
Come on.
This trail passes through maple, yellow birch, and mixed conifer habitat as you hike to the elevated observation platform. When you arrive, you will have a feeling of remoteness with outstanding opportunities for viewing wildlife.
We've got about partway up the overlook here. Now, the first part of it's a ramp, and now we got to go up a little bit of a stairway. And I know the last time we were out was over in the environmental lab. That was all on the ground, so and a little bit different. I don't think there was quite as much snow out that day either, and a little bit different environment that's out there too.
Yeah, different trail. Same beautiful scenery though.
Oh, it really is.
More snow.
More snow, and we've got a stairway here that I was hoping it'd be a little more covered than that. This, I think we can still, with our snowshoes on, make our way up here, but it's kind of a part of it's open and part of it's drifted over, so that makes it a little bit more fun, should I say? Okay,
We're going up.
all right, let's do her. Oh yeah, I think this is gonna work out. Well, until you get to that.
As Dennis Jankowski and I started up the stairs, Denny yelled, "Hey, I don't know about you guys. I'm just the guy carrying all the equipment. But wouldn't it be easier to get up the stairs if we took our snowshoes off?" We finally reached the top, in one piece.
Well, we managed to get up here to the top. Then he broke trail for us and opened it up enough the rest of us could get up it. And you didn't fall off or anything, so we're up here on the top. I mean, if you take a look around, and I mentioned it's kind of a large swampy area that's out here. There's actually a river that's running through the middle of this. You can't really make it out because of the snow. Just out over the side over here, we've got Indian Lake is out there. I can see a good area to come up to at any time of the year, just if you want to the possibility of seeing some wildlife out here, this is probably a good spot for it.
Absolutely. We saw a couple of deer on the way over here, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, we almost got one, as a matter of fact. You always have to keep your eyes open, especially around here, because there's deer everywhere, and they come running out of nowhere, and you got to be paying attention all the time. But this is great up here.
Yeah, you can't beat the scenery. This is absolutely beautiful. A place where very few people actually come to in the winter, but it's definitely worth seeing.
The climb down was a whole lot easier than the climb up. I'm sure the trip back will also be easier because we had already broken the trail. It worked out perfect. The most energy was used on the way in, making the way out a breeze. We made our first snowshoe trek through the rainy wildlife area almost 30 years ago. We thought you might find it interesting to see how things have changed in that time and maybe how some things have stayed the same. Let's jump into our time machine and go back to 1991.
So we put our snowshoes back on and hit the trails, and before long, wouldn't you know it, Tom was thinking about food.
What do you guys think? This looks like a good spot for a picnic. Want to try it?
Yeah, sure. Sounds good.
This gives you an idea what happens when you take the snowshoes off.
Hi, Shorty.
Yeah. Well, you don't have to worry about sitting down.
That might be a good spot.
Taking off their snowshoes to dig a fire pit in the snow, the gang prepares a picnic lunch. Now, this crew should be experienced, but with all the laughing going on, I wonder, wait a minute, is that a fire I see? Why, it sure is. Tom, it looks like you'll have a warm meal after all. The Rainy Memorial Wildlife Area is a unique and extremely beneficial project for wildlife. It's the result of the joint efforts of the Michigan Department of Natural Resources, Michigan Conservation Foundation, and the private donors of the site.
We had a great time out here. I'll tell you what, it was just a short trip, which made it nice. You don't wear yourself out. The snow is so deep. I just can't believe it that the trail we left behind, we were sinking down 6-8 inches with snowshoes on.
Absolutely.
I hope you enjoyed going out there with us. You got the easy route. You just got to watch. Next time, come out here and do it yourself.
We would end our day. We decided a snowshoe trek down the shores of Lake Michigan would be a great way to finish the trip. The sun had pretty much gone down by the time we set out, and we snowshoed in the twilight of the evening. Talk about solitude, it was just what the doctor ordered to gather our thoughts and plan our trip home.
We're up on a trail right now. We're right along Lake Michigan. You can see how desolate it is out here. We're breaking trail, and you can really see how deep the snow is by the bench right here. It's all the way up to the seat right now. Don't know what kind of drifts we might run into along here, but it should be a good trip.
The snowstorm had left a good 2 feet of new snow on the trail, and we would be the first to put our imprint on the freshly fallen snow.
There's just a lot of snow already, but compounding that problem is the fact that we're right on Lake Michigan and we're getting some pretty good sized drifts that are drifting through onto this trail. So it's a little bit of work, but we're all alone out here and it is just beautiful. It's quiet. Well, there's just some incredible sights that you see out here, but as you can tell, we're losing our light fast. We're going to have to quit shooting. But we had a great time. I hope you enjoyed the show and all the places that we went to. If you'd like more information, you can go to our website at greatgetaways.tv. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.